Hello and welcome to The Drum. I'm Steve Cannane. Coming up, why voters aren't buying Labor's budget hard sell, what today's equal pay ruling means for female workers, and why the Taliban has decided to join the Twitter revolution. Our panel tonight, Fiona Ellis-Jones from ABC News Radio, former Liberal MP Bruce Baird, and in Melbourne, academic and writer Tim Soutphommasane. Well, Julia Gillard and her front bench team have been out and about selling the budget today as the government battles another poor showing in the latest opinion polls. Both the News poll and the Nielsen poll have the coalition well ahead of Labor on the two-party preferred and primary vote. And both polls show voters have failed to warm to the budget. Only 37% of those interviewed by News poll thought it was good. 44% approved in the Nielsen survey. The Prime Minister wasn't keen to dwell on the poll results when she faced the media today.
Look, my focus is on getting the job done that the economy needs today and that Australians need done today. And that focus is about having a strong economy, delivering more opportunities for all. That's what the budget is about, that's what the government is about, and we'll keep doing that work.
And after first saying it was his policy not to comment on the polls, the opposition leader Tony Abbott did that, sharing his thoughts on where the government is going wrong.
I think what we've got is a Prime Minister who plainly isn't listening. The families of Australia are under pressure, and the working families of 2007 are the forgotten families of 2011. And I think it's high time that the Prime Minister stopped making excuses for bad policy.
Tim, according to the News poll, it's the worst reaction to a budget in 16 years. Why has it got such a bad response?
Well, I suspect that much has to do with the fact that this was the first budget in 9 years that didn't involve a tax cut. There's been a culture of complacency and entitlement that's been built over the last decade over middle-class welfare. I think naturally Labor will be disappointed with some of these polling results, but most economic experts and commentators regard it as a safe and good budget. And I think it lays down some very strong foundation stones for an agenda that Labor can build around work, skills and welfare reform. I think there is an element too, just in terms of historical factors, with the very poor response that Labor has received from the public, which is that the public has always been very sceptical about Labor and economic management. But there was a very interesting take in today's Australian by George Megalogenis that actually shows that far from the profligate spendthrifts that many people paint Labor treasurers out to be, Labor treasurers have historically over the last 30 years in fact been more frugal.
Bruce, what do you put the negative response down to?
I just think the government's in deep trouble. They're very unpopular. No matter what they try to do, it's seen badly. And I think it's, I disagree with Tim. I think it's more to do with their unpopularity. I thought the budget wasn't bad. It wasn't spectacular, but it certainly addressed some of the issues in terms of middle-class welfare, showing they were prepared to take some tough decisions. But they're being pounded by talkback radio stations, News Limited, are certainly giving them a workover.
Do you think they're getting pounded unfairly?
Well, look, I mean, they're just not getting any